Good morning, my crypto trading brothers and sisters. How y'all doing today? I want to dive right in here and do some quick analysis on CULT. I haven't talked about this one for maybe a couple weeks, but this tends to be a popular coin, and what I love about it is from my perspective, everything that I see following and adhering to technical perspectives or technical patterns perfectly. And there's a lot of people that kind of got freaked out during the last dip. I was not worried at all because I have this all laid out here, and I'm going to talk about this and show you why I was not worried about the most recent dip. Other than one exception, and that was Bitcoin. So before we talk about CULT, I always, in all of my charts and technical analysis, I always have Bitcoin here for a reference because that is our lead dog, and almost 100% of the coins, altcoins that is, in the space follow the lead dog. And there's only a very few that really have gained enough momentum and strength to do their own thing and, kind of not follow Bitcoin as much as most of the rest of the altcoin space. And although CULT may grow up one day and become its own network and, disregard the price action of our leader, right now it still is not. It tends to just exaggerate whatever Bitcoin does. And so Bitcoin has also broken to the upside of a bullish wedge. Now, I put out this chart yesterday, and I will explain a little bit more of that in my update. This is probably confusing some people because I have this orange area here, and I stated 50 basis point hike. We'll get back in this orange area if the next one might be 25 or the Fed speaks softly. Now, the Fed kind of alluded to the fact that they'll do another 50 basis points, and they may in fact do that. But they also, the way the market digested the news event yesterday from J. Powell and Company is, all right, that's over. We're not having the 75 basis points. That was a big relief. And we can see if we jump to the VIX, the fear index has dropped dramatically. The dollar is forming a bull flag, but did not get over that. I'm talking about something that I'm not showing you. Maybe I should just show you real quick because this is all relevant, guys. I know this is a technical analysis video about CULT, but this all plays into. All right, so you can see the VIX here has come all the way down, almost touching our 100-day. And the dollar here, this is the resistance level that I was speaking of. This is 103. We have not touched this since 2017. What I'm looking to have happen possibly, because this is sort of a, well, it kind of, it's sort of a bullish channel, a bullish flag. All right. So we could draw an upper line here, and the dollar may in fact break out and touch this. See this descending black line? We have not touched that since 2001. So 20 years, over 20 years now, it's been since the dollar has been this strong. All right, and this is mainly due to uncertainty in the market and the Fed raising those rates at a faster pace than the global economic players, London, Australia, Germany. They're all following the Fed's suit and raising their rates. They're just not raising their rates as rapidly as the Fed. Of course, the U.S. wants to remain the dominant force, and the dollar they want to have as the global reserve currency. And so they're going to try to keep the dollar stronger against everything else at this point. All right, enough about that. Let's jump back. I say all that because we need to understand how this rolls over into our crypto space, or we're not going to do the most accurate analysis of our altcoins. All right, where am I? Requested analysis. All right, so when it comes to CULT, CULT just follows the big dog, and right now Bitcoin is back into fairly bullish territory. We're above that ascending trend line. All right, now it is resting on that as support right now, and we have another support line at 39,300. That whole area of confluence should provide enough support to keep us in this orange area at least, and possibly depending on how the market digests the next press release regarding CPI here in the US, that could propel us into the green territory. All right, so CULT will follow that and exaggerate. And we followed the move yesterday. Well, CULT didn't follow it precisely candle for candle, but overall the sentiment is just simply exaggerated. So bullish sentiment on Bitcoin, you can multiply that by some kind of a factor and you can get bullish sentiment on CULT. Keep in mind though, the opposite is also true. All right, so if there's bearish sentiment on Bitcoin, you are going to likely see this exaggerated on CULT as well. So as far as what happened, there was bearish sentiment in the crypto space, specifically, all the coins kind of followed our leader, Mr. Bitcoin, down the spiral into bearish territory. And as we did that, CULT exaggerated that move downwards as well. All right, so you can see Bitcoin here traversing to the opposite side, the bearish side of this ascending trend line, which is a multi-year. Like, we have not actually come down and broken that line in at least a year or two. All right, so we did that with this, but the reason I did not sell and I kept long is because I saw this bullish wedge here. And that to me provided enough of an indicator that I don't need to sell on the other side of that black, the bearish side of that black ascending line. CULT followed Bitcoin down this kind of hole and made its own bullish wedge. This is a bullish descending wedge. And so I knew it should break that soon. Now, I didn't know whether we were going to break it at this support or way down here. Looks like we took it all the way down to the bottommost support at 0.001288. See this over here? That is our support, at which point that provided enough of an area of confluence. We broke to the upside of this bullish wedge, and here we are continuing up 30% so far today on my chart. Here's what I expect, because that's what you're all wanting to know, I'm sure. Well, you can see I have a final target up here. I expect us to eventually take out another zero on CULT here. All right. So from this point, that is, let's do the math here. Well, I can just take this guy, move him over here to where we are today. And if we take out another zero, that's 250%. All right, that's a 250% profit from where we're at. So in the near future, if you're looking to trade this coin, I know a lot of you guys are just holders, and that's fine. Personally, my subscribers and I, we're more swing traders, not day traders, although some of our trades end up only being a day. We are swing traders, and so what I look to do is give the different levels, and you can choose to stay in this or trade out your profits as you wish. Our first level of resistance is going to be right here. That is where I will probably take a bit of my profit, because at that point we could hit that resistance and then come all the way back down to our support. And that is the area where I would want to re-enter this trade. All right, so we hit resistance at 3608, and then most probably and I'm not saying this is going to happen. This, technical analysis, as I always say, is a measurement of probability. Has nothing to do with, this is not a crystal ball. This is not a promise. But most likely what happens is we hit our heads on that resistance, and then we come all the way back down to 24.89, at which point I re-enter, all right? And then we go up again. Next time we break, all right? And then we go all the way to 50.96. This is where my exit position number 2 would be, all right? See what I'm doing? And then we hit our heads on that, come back down. This is the way we do swing trading, and we re-enter there. Now, what we're doing is we're leveraging our funds to make the most out of it as possible, compounding the profitability that we can have. You can only do this if you're able to measure out those levels and trade accordingly. All right, so the way I do these levels is I look for pivot points, body pivots. So you can see I have a level here. Why? Because we have 2 body candles here. We had a big old red candle, and let me get my arrow out so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll do some teaching here as I'm doing the analysis. All right, see that red candle? And what happened next? After that, we had a green candle and moved up. That is a pivot. All right, so that's significant. Then over here, you can see our red candle kind of stopped right around that same area, showing us that this is a area level that the market really respects and is significant. We broke below that and we confirmed below that. Why did we confirm? Because we had a close of this candle below that area. Then we opened a new candle and also closed below this level. And then the rest of our candles were working against that. We were bumping our heads against that, and we got exhausted. And then the market just fell down. This is when we started to create this bullish descending wedge. All right. And so you can see the next level down is also an area because we had a big old green candle rest the body on this area. We had 2 wick downs that touched this and then pop back up. We have a body here that kind of used this as support, and then we have more of these candles hitting our heads on this. And that's how I draw spot these different levels of resistance. Up here was pretty easy. Body candle down, big old red candle. We rested on this, and then we started here, came down, big green candle up, hit our resistance, and then exhausted because we couldn't break through. All right, so that's how I've got these different levels. They are significant, and you guys got to watch these different levels. And this is what I do, is I just trade in and out of these levels as we are on our way upwards. And by doing so, you can really leverage your profits, because you see, if we go up to this level here, all right, and hit our heads there, and we do as I say, and we come back down to this level down here, now I've got 41% profit times 2 whatever my cash investment is into this. All right, I'm gaining 41% on the way up, another 41% on the way down, because I'm going to re-enter here, and then you've got another, you're holding this now all the way up here to this. Now you've got another 100% all the way up to this level, all right? And then another 28% all the way down. Whereas if you were just a hodler, you wouldn't have any of this. You would just be holding, and then you'd be wrenching your gut on the way down, and then you'd be, hashtag Lambos on the way up, hashtag to the moons, and then everybody's all depressed when it comes down. But as a trader, you're in and out, and this is the way that you can both maximize your profits, control your emotions, and know that you've got profit in your grasp on the way up. And you can play this all the way up to our final target where we take out another 0. All right. That's all I wanted to say about CULT. Again, we are on our way, guys, and I continue to say we will take out a 0. I don't know what the time frame on that is. Time frames I'm not as good at. And that's partly why I'm a trader as well. We can cut all that out. We don't have to worry about the time frame. I'm guessing a month or two we can take out a zero. That's perfectly plausible. I don't know whether that's going to happen, but it's definitely within the realms of possibility. Meantime, on the way up, you can be assured that I personally will be taking profits along these different resistance levels. And then if we come back down to a support, I will re-enter, and then I will do that all the way up to our final target. All right, guys, that is all I had today. Let's do our outro. So again, as long as Bitcoin remains the healthy leader in the crypto space, CULT will exaggerate any bullish movement. And always remember, the opposite of this is true as well. There are only a few coins in the blockchain space that are healthy enough to ignore what the big dog does and go off on their own. CULT, though it may be one of these coins soon, is not so grown up yet. So as always, keep your eye on the Bitcoin and stay attentive to its price action. And then also follow those larger macroeconomic indicators that I've already specified. The Fed, what it does with the interest rates, the dollar, the VIX. They all spill over. That sentiment spills over into the crypto space, affects Bitcoin, and then all the little altcoins, they follow the big dog. All right, that's the way it goes. Peace, y'all. Until the next video, stay safe out there.